Saudi Fund for Development supported the project with an amount of $20 million to undertake works on additional facilities to make the hospital fully functional, which forms part of the second phase. The second phase includes kitchen, laundry, mortuary block, roads and drainage works, medical and non-medical supply, and installation and other auxiliary works. President Akufo Addo, who commissioned the second phase of the hospital, thanked the Saudi Fund for Development for their financial commitment and support.
The Akufo Addo government remains committed to the development and well-being of every Ghanaian. In so saying, we want to ensure the nation that we act without bias or discrimination. This edifice we are commissioning is situated in a region that has historically not supported the political objectives of our party, the New Patriotic Party, which has, however, not prevented us from giving strong support to its development and completion.
President Akufo Addo admonished workers of the hospital to cultivate good maintenance culture.
I say this hospital is yours. Take ownership of it, care for it, and support the health workers who will be serving you. Together, we can all help build a healthier, stronger Ghana.
The General Director of Operations for Africa of Saudi Fund for Development is Mohammed Al-Shamari.
Over the years, we have funded a total of 10 development projects in Ghana by providing 11 loans agreement that worth $124.5 million. This project helps support many sectors, including urban development, infrastructure, water sanitation, education, healthcare, and others.
With this development at the hospital, residents of the Upper East region will no more travel to Tamale and the southern part of Ghana for specialized care such as CT scan, dialysis, and other complicated health issues. Well, more news this morning. As part of efforts to empower the youth for decent jobs and climate-resilient food systems, the government of Ghana, in collaboration with Agra Ghana and the MasterCard Foundation, has hosted a 2024 Food Systems Transformation Policy Convention, signaling a clear focus on youth empowerment and future job opportunities.
Held just days after International Youth Day, the conference brought together young leaders and policymakers from the Ministry of Employment and Labour, TVET, and the Ministry of Gender to share bold ideas and devise policy strategies aimed at empowering Ghana's youth. The key focus was unlocking opportunities in the digital and agricultural sectors, tackling climate change and ensuring a robust transformation of the nation's food systems. Pius Enam Hajides, CEO of the National Youth Authority, emphasized that the government's flagship programs offer a clear pathway of youth employment, driving home the message that the future of work in Ghana depends on equipping the youth with the right skills.
Government is creating opportunities and giving incentives to the private sector to be able to recruit more. Government is increasing investments into youth entrepreneurship with the refocusing of the Ghana Enterprises Agency from the moribund and as well MBSSI. The government is now focusing education on technical and vocational skills. These are to prepare the youth of our country for the future and make us globally competitive.
Meanwhile, AGRA Ghana's country director, Dr. Betty Annan, announced the launch of a 5-year strategic program aimed at increasing youth participation in agriculture, offering new avenues for young people to thrive in climate-resilient food systems.
When it comes to markets, we have platforms that have been created. The youth can take advantage of application of fertilizer. They can support with that. And this requires some form of training. So they use the right amount, they have the right protective clothing on.
And now debt owed independent power producers have been renegotiated between the Finance Ministry and the IPPS. That's according to the Minister of State in charge of the Energy Ministry, Herbert Krapper. According to him, the debt have been divided into current debt, which are being handled by the ECG, whilst legacy debts are being handled by the Finance Ministry.
ECG, through the Ministry of Finance, has gone through a renegotiation process with the IPPs. Some of the debt has been ring-fenced as legacy debt. And then going forward, from June 2023, current debts are being tackled by ECG, out of which 60% is current and 40% has been deferred. And so in terms of the legacy debts, the Minister for Finance is attending to that. And in terms of the current ones, ECG is current on the current liabilities. What is important is that ECG continues to service, together with the Ministry of Finance, these debts. The renegotiated terms have gone to Cabinet. They will go to Parliament, and then once it is ratified, they can become effective. But I'm sure you have heard me say over and again that constant power supply is my number one priority as Minister, and I will ensure that.
Welcome to your Election Command Center. NPP running mate Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh has entreated residents of Ashanti region to support the NPP leader. Speaking to party supporters, he also called on party faithful to throw their weight behind the aspiring MP, Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo.
The two-term NPP for Menchia South charged his constituents to rally behind Dr. Bawumia.
Menchia President Akuffo Omanyi saa no muta Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo omanyi saa na Menchia she obose ometa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
As you did for former President Kufuor and rallied behind Akufo-Addo, we are promising the same for Dr. Bawumia. When Dr. Bawumia comes, we will rehabilitate the Menchia Hospital.
He said Dr. Bawumia is a suitable person to manage the affairs of the country after President Akufo-Addo leaves office on January 7, 2025. Dr. Prempeh said the current NPP administration has worked tirelessly to put the country on the path of prosperity despite external shocks. Napo, who was expressing his gratitude to the Menchia South NPP for supporting him as their MP for the last 16 years, also called for massive support for all the NPP parliamentary candidates in the various constituency.
I'm on my knees appealing to you that the way you supported me, do same for my successor and all other MPP parliamentary candidates. We are only going to vote for the elephant, no one else.
After Dr. Bawumia, MPP, after MPP, MPP, after MPP.
Away from the camp of the NPP, let's delve into that of the NDC, because its running mate, Professor Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo, says the Women Development Bank being proposed by the party will be a game changer for most women and their families. At a day tour to some markets in Accra, she asked traders to vote for the NDC in the December elections for development and prosperity. Take a listen to her.
Professor Nana Addo Opoku Akuffo and her campaign team visited the Malamata market, the Kaneshi market and the Makola market, all in Accra, to interact with the traders. She charged the traders to vote massively for the NDC in the December 7 elections for development. She says the NDC is better at building markets and improving the lives of the people, and asked that they vote for the party flag bearer John Mahama and the NDC parliamentary candidates. The running mate particularly lauded the efforts of women and explained the Women Development Bank that the NDC intends to establish to the traders.
We can't afford to go for loans at the big banks anymore because they will demand for papers of properties which might not even belong to us. The microfinance that used to help us has also been dissolved.
She also charged voters to check their names in the register when the Electoral Commission begins the voter exhibition exercise.
And now the Peace Council has expressed concerns over what it says is a trend of political parties failing to use its laid down structures to raise concerns, but always accusing the council of inactivity. Pardon me. This is its reaction to the NDC's public declaration that it will not sign a peace pact ahead of this year's polls.
The peace pact that heralds the election cycle may be without the participation of the opposition NDC this year. The party's national chairman, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, says such pacts are not effective. He wants those who call for the signing to rather be proactive and speak up on issues that have the potential to result in violence or care. The National Peace Council is not happy about the NDC's position. Chairman Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi says the parties must take advantage of its meetings with the council to raise such concerns.
They themselves agreed that they will police their own people, what they say, how they say it, and all of those things. While they are in a meeting, their people will call us and ask, what is the Peace Council saying? You are a member of that committee. What do you expect from us again? It's difficult to see all these things going on consistently. Peace Council is being blamed left and right. When we are all in a meeting, let your representatives who come to those meetings go back and report what was it that we discussed. What did we agree on? What are the things that you sign up to?
He maintains the allegations of inaction have no basis.
But over 700 stations, people are listening to different things. And so the accusation will continue. For us, we know what we've done. 2 days ago, when a very high-level meeting represented by these two big parties, top-level people, the issue about recruitment, the issue about all these things that are in the news today, we discussed 2 days ago, cleared the air. The defense minister cleared the air. All these things have been done.
Governance analyst Professor Ali Dusedi, however, says the Peace Council must be proactive.
National Peace Council has been doing a lot over the years, but they have tend to be more reactive rather than proactive. People who of repute recognition in this country, making utterances to the fact that they will win the elections at all costs, they will hand over power. All these statements create tension in the country. Have you heard the MPC come out to condemn these statements? So if we don't do this, then the other side react. Then we are building tension towards the major election.
It is unclear whether the NDC will back down in its decision not to participate in the symbolic peace signing ceremonies.
The Food and Beverages Association of Ghana is urging the government to remove all duties on essential commodities imported into the country to provide some relief for households. This call comes as soaring food prices have left 2 million Ghanaians food insecure, with over 600,000 children under 5 suffering from chronic malnutrition, according to a World Bank report.
The Food and Beverages Association's plea is inspired by the federal government of Nigeria's recent initiative to scrap duties on essential food items as part of its Presidential Accelerated and Stabilization Advancement Plan aimed at tackling Nigeria's rising food inflation. Executive Chairman of the association, John Awuni, argues that the move will help cut prices of food drastically.
The Nigerian government has shown the way, and we are expecting that the government will be inspired by the wise and courageous decision that the Nigerian government has taken, and take a similar step and be inspired. Let them be encouraged that and take such a similar measure, remove the import duties on essential food items, allow same goods to be imported into the country, protect the goods from being re-exported, and then it will lead to a drastic reduction in food items, particularly essential food items in the market. Because as it is now, the rate at which prices are increasing in the market are just very unbearable. They are really very biting and having a very critical effect on the incomes and the lives of the people. The cost of living is going so very much high.
Lower prices could increase consumer spending on other goods and services, potentially boosting economic activity.
Well, on that note, we end the morning news. For more news updates, just log on to our website. It's 3news.com. Thanks for watching. It's always a pleasure coming your way. My colleagues are standing by to continue with the morning show. Have a good morning.